Alrighty, what's up, everybody? Peter Gilmore here for this late, soon to be very late night video on this Friday night, right here on Killer of Demons 669. Thank you all for watching. Make sure you like this video, hit that subscribe button down below, and subscribe to all my other channels. Links are down below in the description box. And as always, friend me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter, share this video all over the internet, and don't forget to tap that bell, turn on all my notifications so you never, ever miss an upload. So hit the bell, get notified, so you never miss an upload from the king of extreme, Peter Gilmore. And if you don't like it, suck my dick. Right there, Dave, Steve. Keep disliking my videos, you fat fucks. Doing your little buddy with a small cock. Doing his little dirty work because he can't do it himself. Because he's a pussy. That's all I gotta say about that. Anyway, on this very late Friday night, September the 25th, 2020, or if you're watching from somewhere else, it is now September the 26th, 2020. Already at the end of September. It's amazing. Got 3 months to go, ladies and gentlemen, to the end of the year and to 2021, which is not going to be, well, New Year's Eve is not going to be live. It's going to be online, virtual shit. Just like the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, going to be virtual and online, which I think is stupid. So if you want to watch a parade on Thanksgiving, well, you're going to have to go online and watch it, because I don't think it's going to be on Channel 4. Or I don't think they're going to have what's his name? Ryan Seacrest. You know, they're not going to have Dick Clark's New Year's Rockin' Eve with Ryan Seacrest this year. I don't think so. Or they're going to have any other New Year's Eve shows. Like they'll be on Fox, or Steve Harvey will have one, or another celebrity will have one. Because I just have a little bit of a clock. You know? I don't know how they're going to do New Year's Eve this year and around the world, but the first place that'll hit is Japan on December the 30th. Well, actually like the morning of December 31st. It'll be New Year's Day in Japan. And by the time we get there, it'll be, they're a day ahead of us, so we'll be getting up for New Year's Eve, and then whatever we may be doing, working or getting ready to have a New Year's Eve party. And we'll see what happens with that. I'm probably going to be working that day, but we'll see. Probably working that day, and probably working New Year's Day, and then probably the day after that. Or maybe I'll have off that weekend, the first weekend of 2021. But we'll see what happens when we get there. So I got work tomorrow. I got to get to bed. I got to get this video up. And then I gotta get a couple hours sleep, and then I gotta get up, and I gotta go to work from 2:30 to 10, and then I gotta come home and do my predictions for Clash of the Champions, and then have all day Sunday off to watch some football, and then we'll see what happens next week. The missus comes back next week, so that's pretty damn good. So the schedule of videos might change. The scenery might change. I might go into the other room with my TV room, and do the video. But we'll see what happens with that. And that's it. And we move on. All right, we got one viewer watching. I think I know who it is. Scaredy Cat, but it is what it is. So, but thank you for the view, asshole. And that's all I got to say about that. All right, let's get to on this late Friday night. It is time for your late night Smackdown review for September the 25th, 2020, from the Thunderdome in Orlando, Florida, at the Amway Center, which won't be around for much longer. I think it ends October the 31st. So we got another month or so with the Thunderdome, and then I don't know what's going to happen with where the WWE is going to go. If they're going to go to another arena in Florida, or they're going to go back to the Performance Center. But we shall see what happens when we get there. And that's all I'm going to say about that. So tonight's SmackDown, their go home show before this Sunday's Clash of the Champions Gold Rush. Kind of discombobulated and bleh. We're just all over the place, and nothing to write home about. We got a little storyline progression with the Intercontinental title with AJ Styles, Sami Zayn, and Jeff Hardy. Got that, and then we were going to hear from Roman Reigns, Mr. Cockfist himself, and his cousin Jey Uso ahead of their Universal title match this Sunday. We heard from Bayley, don't give me a hug, and that we had Alexa Bliss in action and see if she turns into Sister Abigail again, but we'll see. Some interesting things with that. I'll talk about that. And then most of the show was matches that we're gonna see on Sunday. Who booked this shit? Bruce, what are you doing, Bruce? Why are you having matches that we're going to see Sunday, except for one match, which is Baron Corbin and Matt Riddle, and they're still burying Matt Riddle, just like they're burying Keith Lee, and whoever comes up next, they're going to get buried. I hope it's not Adam Cole, but we'll see what happens to that. So, yeah, so we saw that. That was the only match that's not going to happen on Sunday. But all the other matches were just, we saw, except for the ending, of course. So we'll get to that in a minute. So let's start off the review. We start off with Mitchell Cole. Welcome us to SmackDown. Then we hear the music of the phenomenal AJ Styles. Comes out. We have ladders set up on the stage and down the ramp and around the ring. And then out next is the so-called real Intercontinental Champion Sami Zayn, otherwise known as Jericho. And then out next is Jeff Hardy. Jeff Hardy, dude! And he comes out. Sami holds his title up right in the face of Jeff. That was kind of cool. Everyone gets the mic. Corey Graves is in the ring for no apparent reason. Says that all three are claimed to be the rightful champion. And he talks about the match on Sunday where the winner would become the undisputed Intercontinental Champion. He says tonight Sami and Jeff's titles will be raised to the rafters. And apparently we're going to get some in the first ever Intercontinental title ascension ceremony or some shit like that. Corey said there's no champion's advantage. The man who takes both titles down will become the undisputed Intercontinental title. A champion, I should say. So AJ wonders if the title is a little heavy because he should save it a moment. It's the last time that Jeff is going to hold the title. He cheated to get the title. As for Sami, why are you even here? Oh, that's right. You claim to be the champion when you took the summer off to grow out your neck beard. AJ said he broke his back to make the title mean something. And he's like, by the way, Sami, didn't I beat you last week? So Sami's like, none of this should be happening. AJ decided to partake in a tournament for a fraudulent championship. When AJ won, he was a fraud. And when Jeff won, he should have denounced it and recognized Sami as the rightful champion. And now he must defend his title in a ladder match. And he says ladder matches are dangerous. Obviously. Just like, Sami, shut the hell up. And he's like, well, me and AJ kind of agree on something. And that's, AJ's like, well, I'm the smartest man in the room. Okay. Jeff tells Sami he should be grateful. Him and AJ have defended the title week to week with honor. And at the Clash, Sami can make this legit by winning. He wants to hang the title and steal the show on Sunday. And AJ says neither of these guys deserve the belt. Sammy tells him to step aside, and then him and Jeff hang the belts up. Where where they have the where they usually have the belts hooked up, like when they had the dual WWE titles, or the WWE and the I think it was the double spinner belts, which Randy Orton and John Cena had, and we all know who won that. Randy Orton and his voice. Then we get some weird fucking song being played as the titles are raised to the rafters. So Sammy leaves the ring, then shoves a ladder into AJ and Jeff. Then he hops on the Jeff, just punching the crap out of him, calling Jeff a fraud with each hit. Then he leaves the ring as AJ comes in to try to stop it. Then as Sammy's going up the ramp, Adam Pearce, who I guess you can call him the Smackdown GM because he's always there. Or the director of security, whatever they want to call him. Vince's goon. He comes out and says, Sammy, you want to get involved in this? Well, I'm gonna have a triple threat match, and I'm putting you in that match. It was supposed to be AJ and Jeff Hardy, and then Sami Zayn gets thrown in, making it a triple threat. I don't know why we're getting this match early. I know it's not for the title, but I really don't know why they had this fucking match. Anyway, Sammy's going berserk, and then inside the ring, Jeff hits a twist of fate on AJ, and then gets ready to fight. So I give all that 2.5 out of 5 stars. It was an okay first segment, and that's pretty much all I got to say about that. And we move on from there. All right, then we get to the triple threat match. Match was all right. Jeff sends AJ outside, then attacks Sammy in the middle of the ring. Sammy with a kick locks the head. Jeff with an inverted atomic drop, then a leg drop on the nuts, playing the hits. And AJ is there to send Jeff into the corner. And then AJ with a backbreaker to Jeff Hardy. And then he baseball slides Sammy on the outside. Jeff hits a right hand, then another one. He is sent outside by AJ. AJ attacks the head. Sammy rushes AJ and hits a right hand. Then Sammy sends AJ in the ring. He comes in. AJ with a snapmare into a cravat. AJ reverses, gets his own chin lock. Jeff hops on the apron as AJ sends Sammy to the outside. Jeff sidesteps and rushes AJ. Hits a back body drop to AJ. Then poetry in motion as Sammy returns to the ring on his hands and knees. Jeff goes to the top looking for the swanton. He dives off. Sammy shoves Jeff, and Jeff tumbles to the outside. Ow! Sammy goes to attack Jeff on the outside, but AJ flies over the top on both of them. As we go to commercial, we come back. Jeff flies off the top rope with Whisper in the ring to AJ and Sammy. And he starts fighting both men off. Sammy returns on the outside, and AJ does too. Here's some chops to Sammy and some chops to Jeff as AJ came in. Jeff kicks and hits an insecurity to AJ. Sammy with a big kick to Jeff, then one to AJ, and then AJ comes back with a pele kick, knocking Jeff down. AJ goes on the apron, hits a right hand to Sammy, calls for the phenomenal form. He springboards in. Sammy ducks and hits the phenomenal form to Jeff and looks to get the pin, but Sammy shoves AJ out of the ring and covers 1, 2, 3. So Sami Zayn steals the win. Like he may do on Sunday, but I think it's going to be Jeff Hardy winning the match. So Sami Zayn picks up the victory. Match was all right. I gave it 2.5 out of 5 stars. And not a bad match per se, but I just don't know why they booked this match, and they could have just had a brawl to start the show, and then maybe have AJ who went up the ladder at the end of the segment, beat by he came back, started smacking Sammy in the back with the ladder. He sends Jeff outside with a ladder. Then he goes up, grabs the ladder on the outside. He goes up. He sets it up, goes up to near the top of the ladder, pulls down the titles, and he poses with the titles to end it. That's what I would have done without the match. Just let them beat each other up inside or outside the ring, and then have AJ or maybe Jeff go up the. Well, it doesn't matter who would have went up. Have whoever go up, hold the titles, and maybe like, oh, Sammy's gonna win the belts. Oh, Jeff might retain. Oh, AJ might become a 2-time champion. Something like that would have been better. But I don't book the WWE. I wish I did. But I digress, and that's all I gotta say about that. So, still a pretty decent match. I gave it 2.5 out of 5 stars, and we'll see what happens this Sunday at the Clash in that hellacious ladder match for the Intercontinental title. I think it'll steal the show. I think that the only thing that'll be good on the show is that, because I don't think anything else is going to be great. But it is what it is, and that's pretty much all I got to say about that. All right, then we go backstage with Tucker explaining the lawsuit in detail to Otis, and then we see what happened last week where Otis tore off Miz's clothes and Miz was in his tighty whities, and I was embarrassed. And then we see Otis get served a lawsuit and blah blah blah. And then we see Caleb Braxton come in, interviews Otis and Tucker. Otis says he's made his decision. He doesn't trust Carnival Clowns, 1% Milk, and lawyers. And he says Miz ain't taking the Money in the Bank contract from him. So I guess he's going to go to court and lose. But then comes to Miz and John Morrison. Miz says the WWE Universe deserves a Money in the Bank winner they can be proud of. His lawyers charge $2,000 an hour, and when they are done with Otis, he will have nothing, while Miz will have everything. Miz says, just ask Mandy what Miz can get done. I don't want to know about that. Maurice might have something to say about that. But and we see John Morrison filming all this for his Instagram account. Like, I care. So Otis gets pissed, says Miz wants it, come get it. And then Tucker's like, wants to know why they didn't put Morrison's name on the lawsuit. So Otis then attacks John Morrison, starts beating the living Jesus out of him, while Miz and Tucker tries to get Otis off, and Adam Pearce and Jamie Noble and a couple of referees try to break it up. So I guess it's going to lead to Otis versus the Miz. Maybe on SmackDown, the winner gets the Money in the Bank contract. I think that's going to be the only way that Otis loses the thing, and then they give it to Miz, and then Miz might cash in again, like he did to Randy Orton a few years ago. When he won the WWE Spinner belt from Randy Orton, and then held it all the way through WrestleMania, beat Cena at WrestleMania 28 with help from The Rock. Actually, was it 27 or 28? I forget which one it was. Or 20. No, it wasn't 20. I don't think it was 26. I think it was 27. Because I know Miz had the belt somewhere around 26 and 28. I forget. Yeah, because they had they had the Rock Cena 2 at 29. They had Rock Cena 1 at 28. So that was 20. It had to be 27. So get that. So it looks like we're gonna get Miz and Otis. The winner gets the Money in the Bank briefcase, and like I said, I think the Miz is gonna get it, and he's gonna eventually cash in on maybe Roman Reigns, maybe somebody else. Probably lose, but I just don't think Miz is gonna become champion anytime soon. Not that I want him to become champion, but it is what it is, and that's all I got to say about that. And we will move on. All right. Then we go to a segment with Bayley. Don't give me a hug. The SmackDown Women's Champion. We see a video package of her and Sasha's little feud that happened. What happened last week on Raw, where Bayley attacked Sasha and almost tried to cripple her again. So she comes out with a chair. And she's like, I can watch that footage over and over and over and over and over again, but I'm not. A champion's time is precious, and to be honest, I don't have an ounce of time to waste on Sasha. Unlike Sasha, I got work to do. Unlike that crybaby, she has a championship match to prepare for. So then she talks to Nikki Cross directly, and she says she would like to start out by saying she admires Nikki's heart. She said last week she overheard Nikki say this match will be different, that she actually has a chance because Sasha won't be there. I beg to differ with that one, but Bayley tells Nikki to think about that. Think about it long and hard, and ask why Sasha won't be there. She says if Nikki just watched what she did to her best friend, she should be worried about Sunday. She says she's gonna smack that silly little smile off her stupid little face. Then she would do something with the chair, right, Sasha? So I think she's gonna win, and then she'll try to Pillmanize Nikki's neck, and then we'll see Sasha come out, and then either they'll have a cat fight or Sasha will run Bayley off, and then they'll have to do something on next week's Smackdown, where I think Sasha will challenge for the Smackdown, will challenge Bayley for the Smackdown title inside Hell in a Cell, and then it's going to be 17 days until, as of right now, 17 days until Bayley becomes a 1-year champion. So by the time Hell in a Cell comes, which is 4 weeks away, it's on October the 25th. Should be a 1-year plus champion. So she should probably end her reign about 383, close to 390. But we'll see. So I think Sasha will get involved on Sunday, and either during the match or after the match, stop Bayley from trying to cripple Nikki Cross. And then she'll come out on SmackDown and then challenge Bayley for her SmackDown Women's title and say, you and me, Hell in a Cell. And then we get that. That's probably going to be the main event of Hell in a Cell. But we'll see what happens with that. And we move on from there. So I gave that segment 2.25 out of 5 stars. And that's all I got to say about that. All right, then we got the match number 2, Grand Metalik with Kalisto and Lindsay Dorado at ringside takes on Shinsuke Nakamura with Cesaro at ringside. I don't know why this match is going on, because Cesaro and Shinsuke defending the belts against whoever the Lucha House Party decides to pull out. I think it's going to be Lindsay Dorado and Grand Metalik, and the Kalisto is going to be on the outside, and he's going to probably cost the Lucha Java Party the titles. I think Shinsuke and Cesaro will retain, and the Lucha Java Party will break up. Well, really, Kalisto will break away from the group and become a full-fledged heel, and then they'll have some matches, some Lucha style matches. Like, I don't really care, but that's all I got to say about that. Match was okay. It's also with a knee. Shinsuke hitting a knee, then another one, and then he locks up against the ropes. The referee has to break it up, so Shinsuke backs up, misses a right hand, and he'll get a kick from Grand Metalik, whip, and he bounces off, lands on his feet, gets arm dragged, but Grand Metalik bounces off the ropes and arm drags Shinsuke to the outside, and then he slides outside. Shinsuke catches him and sends him into the barricade. Ow. Then he does it again. Ow. Then he drags Metalik over the apron, runs with a knee to face. He rolls in the ring, covers for a 1 count. He sends Grand Metalik into the corner head first, then stomps his head into the turnbuckle a few times. Then he grabs him, but Metalik comes back with a chop to the chest. Shinsuke comes back with a big knee, then a front face lock down to the mat. Grand Metalik elbows his way out, hits the ropes, dives for a head scissors. Shinsuke lands on the apron and stands on the apron. He kicks Metalik. Metalik catches him and then hits the knee to face. Nakamura falls to the outside. Gramatali flies with a tope con hilo. What really a tope? Sends Shin inside, launches up over the top rope with a senton, pins him for a near fall. Goes to the top rope, looks for a moonsault, but he lands on his feet, rolls backwards, and really just like boop, boop. Then he hops over Shin, lands on the second buckle, looks to I guess try to come back with a cross body, but Shinsuke trips him up. Vitalik hits his head on the turnbuckle, and then Shinsuke backs up, hits a running knee to the back of the head, then the exploder suplex, which sets up the Kid Sasha. 1, 2, 3. Shinsuke Nakamura picks up the victory in a match that was I gave it 2 out of 5 stars. Sucks to be Shinsuke, but it is what it is. So we'll see what happens this Sunday with the Lucha Jobber Party and Shinsuke and Cesaro. I think, like I said, I think Shinsuke and Cesaro will win the match and retain the titles. And Kalisto will turn on Lince Dorado and Gramatali, beat the crap out of them, and then go his own way. And that's that. Afterwards, Lindsay goes to check on his partner. Cesaro rushes into gut wrench suplex him, and then Kalisto just stands there looking like not doing anything. And he's about to enter, then it's like, nope. And then Kalisto checks on Lindsay, but Lindsay then shoves Kalisto down on his butt. Then helps Gramatali out of the ring, and we have Kalisto like, I was just trying to help. I was like, why didn't you say that in Spanish? I'm just saying. So we'll see what happens with the Lucha Jobber Party as we go on to Sunday. And like I said, I think they're going to lose and break up, and that's it. I don't care. All right, there we go backstage with Jey Uso heading over to Big Roman's door. Starts banging on it. He's like, just banging on it, sings a little jingle. I didn't care for that. All right, after that, go to commercial. We'll come back with a video package chronicling the family, specifically the comparison of Jey Uso and Roman Reigns, which you can see on Chronicles on the WWE Network. So basically showed half of that. We hear from Rikishi Sika, Jimmy Uso, and they all have something to say. Rikishi says Roman felt like he was the big dog even at a young age. It was in his blood. He's a winner, almost like he was destined for greatness. But on the other hand, there's Jay, step by step, day by day, fresh right to a different type of play. Oh, sorry. I'm not going to sing the step-by-step TV theme song, but that was a good show back in the day. Came right after Family Matters, and they came after Family Matters and came after Family Matters. I'm pretty sure. Full House, one of those shows back in the late '80s, early '90s. Good show with Suzanne Summers and what's his name? Patrick something. I forget his name. The guy that was on Dallas. I had a good cast. Good show. Didn't last that long. Didn't last like 3 or 4 seasons, or 5 maybe. I forget. It was a good show. Good theme song. Not the greatest theme song in the world, because we all know what that is. 1, 2, 3, 4, happy days. Sunday, Monday, happy days. That's the greatest theme song of all time on TV. Just saying. That's all I got to say about that. So he says, step by step, day by day, he paid his dues to understand. Jimmy says they're about to leave it all on the line, the bloodline. Jimmy says that before this big dog, Reigns was a little puppy. Rikishi says his son, Jay, will become the new Universal Champion. And then we hear from Roman's dad. I thought it was another guy. I was like, who is this guy? I thought it was Alpha for a second. I was like, wait a minute, Alpha's dead, no? So Reigns' daddy says he's always ready. Rikishi says his son Jay, the new tribal chief. Then he says, and it's all love, and that's it. So a nice little chronicle, I guess you can call it. Nothing great, but Rikishi thinks Jey Uso will win. Roman's dad says that he thinks that his son's going to win. I personally think Roman's going to beat the living bejesus out of Jey Uso, retain the title, and then go on his merry way, and probably won't be at Hell in a Cell. He's supposedly not going to be fighting at Hell in a Cell, though that could change. But I know he's going to be on the Survivor Series team, or he may defend the title. I don't know. Either he's going to defend the title at Survivor Series, or he's going to be on the Smackdown team, like Team Orton versus Team Roman versus Team Finn Balor. Because it's going to be NXT. NXT, SmackDown, Raw once again. We'll see who the dominant brand is this year. We'll see. I think it might be SmackDown now that Roman's there, but we'll see. And that's that. So I gave that Chronicle segment 2.25 out of 5 stars. And that's that. Then we go right to Jey Uso in the ring. He's hype. Says, that's my family right there. Cuz versus cousin. Family versus family. As you see Roman looking on. Jay's still hype. He talks to Corey, says, what's up, knowing he's supposed to interview Reigns, but he's got some questions for Roman. And he's like, let's look at last week where Roman and Jay teamed up to take on Corbin and Sheamus. They celebrated their win after. And then they really focus on when Jay's like about to lift the belt, go like, yeah, and he just threw it at Roman. It's like, then Roman starts smiling, and when Jay has his back turned, Roman's like, must kill Jey Uso. So he gets all dangerous and mean. So Jay says all week they've been asking about the look. He doesn't know about no look, but let's ask Roman. He's like, what's up with that? So Reigns is continuing to watch backstage. So Heyman's like, I'll go out. Jay wonders about the lack of response. He thought they were better than that. He's like, are you going to smile to my face and growl behind my back? So then Heyman comes out of the room. He's on the Tron. He says he wants to get some things straight. He believes everyone deserves to hear what Roman has to say to his cousin face-to-face in the ring. And he's like, here's where we have it all wrong. It's not going to happen when you wanted Jay. It'll happen at the accommodation of the schedule of the Universal Champion, your tribal chief, Roman Reigns. And he guarantees that it will happen in the ring later tonight. So he stops, goes back in the room. Jay says he knew something was up. He says Roman changed his number, has Heyman screening his calls, but it's all good. It's all love. Other way it goes, they're manning up. He'll show Roman tonight, and he's like, welcome to the Uso Penitentiary. So I was like, oh, we're going to have a match near the end of the show. But, because I'm doing everything else, that's going to happen on Sunday. I was like, why not have Roman versus Jay? Non-title. But as we see near the end, we get something different. But I'll get to that in a little bit. So I gave that segment with Jey Uso, Heyman 2.25 out of 5 stars, and we'll see what happens with them later on at the end of the show. All right, then we get a video of Matt Riddle taking on Baron Corbin at Payback, which I think Matt Riddle won. Hope you damn freaking do. Corbin cuts a promo I didn't give two shits about, and I don't know what he said. I faded away and became obsolete and went to the bathroom. So don't care about Corbin speaking. So Riddle comes back, says he's gonna, he's gonna beat Baron, he's gonna beat the King, blah blah blah. I don't care. Then we get to this boring as fuck match. That I don't know why it's happening on SmackDown. I don't even know why it's happening at all. I thought they ended it at this feud at Payback, but we get another match in this stupid feud. Let me check my time. Oh, we're pretty good. Riddle gets an attack before the bell. Then bell rings. Riddle sends Corbin to the outside. He follows, gives Corbin a right hand, then chases him back in the ring. Corbin kicks as Riddle's on the apron. As Cole calls, Michael Cole's like, "Oh, look at the veteran Corbin! Shut up, Cole. Shut up. Just shut up, Cole." Pulls Riddle back in the ring, but Riddle tries to take him down with a leg lock. Cole with a right hand. Then he knocks the head, knees Riddle into the ropes. Then hits a right hand to head. Cole with a right hand to midsection. And then he's going to work on just beating the crap out of Riddle. Corbin sends Riddle into the corner, slides under the rope, and hits that thing he hits. And Corbin slides to the outside, so Riddle grabs him, sends him into the announce table. Sadly, did not hit Michael Cole. Damn. And we go to break. Riddle has a triangle choke locked on, but Corbin powers out of it. He gets out of it with a power bomb for a near fall. Then he drops some right hands on the Riddle, chokes Riddle up on the top rope, then elbows his head. He hits the ropes and hits a big right to the face, then another one. Just basically beating Riddle up. So Riddle comes back with a huge knee to the face. He rushes the corner with an elbow, then another running form. Hits a suplex out of the corner. Hits the ropes, misses a kick, goes for a moonsault. But Corbin rolls into the Broton. And then that final flash knee of his goes to the cover. Gets a near fall out of that. And then knocks Corbin in an abdominal stretch, but Corbin breaks it, so Riddle goes for a 1925 sleeper. Corbin gets to the ropes, Riddle hops off Corbin's back, kicks the ropes, Corbin grabs him and hits deep six for a near fall. And hits a kick Riddle with a kick, then another one to the chest. He goes off the ropes. Corbin with a right as Riddle was trying for a slingshot move. Corbin grabs Riddle, tries to go for end of days. Riddle flips out of it and is on his feet, hits the running knee. Then he goes to the top rope looking for the floating bro, but Corbin got his knees up, and Riddle's like, ah! Then he turns around into end of days. 1, 2, 3. Baron Snorbing Corbin wins the match. Match was alright. Gave it 2.25 out of 5 stars. That was that. So after that, Riddle's pissed. I don't know why this interview happened, but Caleb Braxton gets in the ring. He's like, you must be disappointed with your performance. So the bro says losing sucks, and he won't let the setback stop him. He calls himself a stallion. He says he will continue to grind until SmackDown is the bro show. Yeah, continue to lose and get buried by Vince K. McMahon. That's what you're going to do. Continue to get buried by Vincent Kennedy McMahon. Just the same way that everybody else that's come from NXT is getting the Vince McMahon treatment. There's only 3 guys, 3 or maybe more guys that have been pretty good that had pretty good careers from NXT. Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, Jon Moxley, otherwise known as Dean Ambrose. Those 3 guys have had great careers coming from NXT. Everybody else got buried. Remember Bo Dallas? He had that whole Bull Leave thing, then he became a jobber with Curtis Axel. Then he left, then he got hurt, and now he's gone. We don't know if he's coming back. You know, we have this mysterious guy coming back at TakeOver next Sunday. We don't know who he is, though. We've been seeing he's grabbing the NXT title, so it's a former NXT champion. So I'm thinking it's either Bo Dallas or it could be Killer Kross. My money's on Killer Kross. But then again, it could be somebody else. It's not going to be Pac. Not going to be Big E. Let's be real. There's all the other champions that they've had. Not going to be Adam Cole. Not going to be anybody like that. I think it's going to be either Bo Dallas or Killer Kross. I think it's going to be Killer Kross, though. And that's that. So, like I said, everybody that's come up from NXT except for Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose, and Roman Reigns has completely gotten buried by Vincent Kennedy McMahon because he doesn't give two shits about NXT. That's why everybody that's in NXT right now should just stay there for like 5, 10, 15 years. Don't go up to the main roster because you'll get killed and buried. Your career will go bye-bye. Just ask Keith Lee. Just ask Matt Riddle. Just ask Aleister Black and Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. And you can ask Lacey Evans, who's doing jobber work. Alexa Bliss, when she was, she came off of NXT, was pretty damn good. Now she's getting this whole Sister Abigail type thing, which is cool. So they're actually making Alexa Bliss look good now. So I'm not going to say that Vince buried her. Nikki Cross came off from NXT. Hasn't been that great. The Street Profits are the only good thing on Raw. But, they're going to get buried. Andrade and now he's teaming with Angel Garza, going back and forth, what's going on with them? They're gonna fight this week. We're gonna be tag team partners, or we're gonna win the titles on Sunday, or what's gonna happen? Now Zelina Vega, she's gonna get destroyed by Asuka on Sunday. Another person not getting good treatment. Mandy Rose was in NXT, and then she had this thing with Otis, and now I don't know what's going on with that. Now she's on Raw, not really doing much. Sonya Deville was okay, and then she had that little thing with Mandy and with Dolph, and then she lost that hellacious last woman standing the no holds barred last woman standing match, I think it was, at SummerSlam. Then she's gone doing a movie right now. She'll be back at the Rumble. Or by WrestleMania, who knows. They haven't treated her that good. And everybody else, like I said, everybody else that's come off from NXT, they get all hyped up, and then the debut, either sometimes it's good. When Kevin Owens came up, he had that debut with Cena, beat Cena. When he was the NXT champion, of course. Just beat the crap out of Cena, then proceeded to get buried by Cena the next two matches. And then he wins the Universal title. They book him like crap. And then now he's in a program with Aleister Black. So two guys from NXT who, should be stars right now are fighting against each other. And Kevin doesn't like the way that WWE's going right now. And if I was Kevin, I would fucking leave. Or go back to NXT. Either go back to NXT or leave and go to AEW. Be with the Bucks. Have Mount Rushmore. Well, I can't have Mount. I was gonna say Mount Rushmore 3, but Adam Cole would have to go to AEW. But or Roddy would have to go to Ring of Honor because had Roddy in Mount Rushmore. Well, then again, you get Super Dragon. But I don't even know where Super Dragon is right now. I think he's in his hole again. I don't know. But that's what I gotta say about that, and we move on. All right, we got somebody in the chat. F. What's that supposed to stand for? Frank? Is your name Frank? Or does it mean fuck? Does it mean anything else? I don't know. He says, yo. Dean Ambrose is the GOAT. Not the greatest of all time. But he is pretty damn good on AEW. He is the champ for the last few months. And he's going to beat Lance Archer at the 1 year anniversary show. And then after that, I don't know who he's going to defend it against at Full Gear. I'm hoping it's Kenny, but that might not happen till maybe Revolution. Or maybe happen on on AEW TV. They do a special show, but before the end of the year. But we'll see. What happened to him? What happened to who? Dean Ambrose? Dean Ambrose is now Jon Moxley, and he is the AEW champion. And that's that. You the GOAT? Yes, I am. I'm the greatest of all time. I'm the face of YouTube. As proclaimed by the great legend himself, WJ. And that's that. I haven't watched WWE since I was 10. What happened to it? Well, you want to know what happened to it, go back to 2008 when the PG era started. Actually, 2008 to 2010. That's when the PG era started, and WWE just started going. And then the last few years, they've just been down the gutter. The ratings suck. Raw has been terrible. The pay-per-views haven't been good. WrestleMania wasn't even that good. WWE just doesn't have anybody, any stars right now. There's nothing. All they have is NXT, which is basically getting destroyed by AEW in the ratings right now. I think if they want to win the war, they want to win this ratings war, go to Tuesday. Go to Tuesday. You have Raw, NXT, AEW, a day off. Or sometimes they'll have AEW on Thursday night doing the NBA season, or not the NBA season, or maybe doing the playoffs. Who knows? Then Friday you got Smackdown. Saturday you can have a takeover, or you do it on a Sunday when there's nothing else there, and then you have your regular pay-per-views on Sunday, or you could have a special takeover on Wednesday, on a Tuesday night, like they had with Super Tuesday night 1 and night 2, which got them pretty good ratings. Didn't win, but got them some pretty decent ratings. This week, they didn't do so good. I think AEW got 835,000 views. NXT got 696,000 views. So once again, AEW destroys NXT in the ratings. And if Vince doesn't want competition, but now he's got a lot of competition because AEW is kicking some ass this year. They kicked ass when they first started. Since October of last year, they've only lost maybe almost 2 handfuls of times. I think maybe a handful or 2 times. They only lost maybe 6 to 8 weeks. They lost. Not in a row. They lost 3 weeks in a row. AEW lost 3 weeks in a row because, they had Fyter Fest and they had Fight for the Fallen in early July. And some of those shows weren't that good. But, ever since Fight for the Fallen, they've been doing some good stuff. They had that 1 week, they got over 1 million views. And now the last 2 weeks, they've kind of went back to what they usually get. That's all I got to say about that. So yeah, we want to know what happened to WWE. AEW happened. That's what happened. That's what happened. Competition came in and destroyed it. And about to sink WWE's battleship. Vince McMahon, he's 75 years old, doesn't have much. I mean, he looks like he's about to go as it is. He's becoming more senile than ever. His company's garbage. And when I think if when Hunter and Stephanie and Shane take it over with their kids, you think I don't know if it's going to be that better. I don't know if it's going to be better because Hunter will have guys there that can actually write, like some NXT guys will come up to Raw and SmackDown. Maybe he'll get rid of Bruce Pritchard. Maybe put Paul Heyman in charge of Raw or SmackDown. Or he'll just do both shows. He'll produce and blah blah blah, like he's doing with NXT. You have Shawn Michaels next to him, and the Road Dogg Jesse James. He'll try to make Raw and SmackDown look like NXT. He'll bring up guys like an Adam Cole, but that's not going to be for a while. Because right now, Adam Cole's not really doing anything right now. It's not going to be on TakeOver this Sunday, not next Sunday, I should say, which sucks. But, he was on NXT just to come out and cheer on Kyle O'Reilly, who's now the number one contender to face Finn Balor for the NXT title. But, yeah, WWE fucking sucks. That's all I got to say about that. All right, bro. I'm out. Enjoy the rest of your day. Oh, thank you very much for coming in the chat. And hope you subscribe. And subscribe to all my other channels as well. And if you're on social media, hit me up on Facebook and Twitter. And don't forget to smash that bell to get notified when I do my next video. So maybe you can come in my next video tomorrow night for my Clash of Champions review on the Peter Gilmore YouTube Wrestling. Excuse me, on the on TKC Reborn episode 179. So hope you come back. And if not, come back on my next on my Raw review, or come back on my Clash of Champions review on the Peter Gilmore Wrestling channel. So, but hopefully you just subscribe to this channel and tell your friends and tell them to subscribe to this channel and all my other channels as well. But thank you for coming in, and hope you have a great rest of your night and a good weekend. And that's all I got to say about that. See, I care for my fans, unlike some people. That's all I got to say about that. All right, after that, we got the blonde chick, like we all know is probably going to be Carmella. She writes "untouchable" on the mirror, and then we see her like taking a picture of herself. That's it. So she's untouchable. She was not John Cena, but like I said, I think it's Carmella. If it's not Carmella, then it might be Chelsea Green, but I think it is Carmella. And that's all I got to say about that. So we'll probably find out in the next coming weeks, and that's that. All right, then we get to our next match number 4. The lovely Alexa Bliss taking on Lacey Evans. We have some promos from Lacey, excuse me, from Alexa, basically bad mouthing Lacey, calling her. She says she's not a lady, blah blah blah. She's gonna beat her up, blah 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 blah. Now, typical promo. Calls Lacey a Karen. Okay. That. All right, then we get to the match. Match was okay. Nothing to write home about. I'm gonna briefly summarize this because I want to go to bed. That's why almost 3:40. I want to get to bed because I gotta get up at 12 o'clock and get ready for work. Alexa was in control, then Lacey comes back. Alexa blocks a corner move and tugs on the arm. She trips Lacey down hard. Then we hear the Fiend's laughter blaring through the arena. And then Bliss goes into a trance. And but it kind of distracted her as Lacey hits a standing moonsault, pulls back the head of Alexa, slams it into the mat. Alexa escapes. She whips Lacey. Lacey hops over the top rope to the apron. She drags Bliss's face across the rope. And then she gets a kick. Another one. Trips Alexa. And then Lacey swings with a kick into the face of Alexa on the outside. Bliss goes back in. Lacey goes for a near fall. Then another near fall. Alexa with a drop kick. And her hair is just wild. Just going everywhere. Lacey goes to a splash. She missed. Alexa hits a clothesline, then another one, then some slaps, then a drop kick. Lacey grabs her arm and pulls Bliss down into the mat. And then we hear the Fiend's music go off again. And Alexa goes back into her trance. And she rushes Lacey, attacks her viciously, sends Lacey into the corner, and it just stomps the living crap out of her. shoves Lacey down to the mat, and steps on the head of Lacey over and over and over again, and the referee had to counts to 5, and Alexa wouldn't stop, so Lacey gets the win by disqualification. Yeah. So match gave 2 out of 5 stars, and that was that. Afterwards, Alexa sends Lacey to the outside, and then she grabs his sister Abigail on the outside again. And then Alexa's smiling. She's like, hey. And then we see Bray dressed up as the Fiend on the Titantron. She said something I couldn't hear. And then Lexi goes up the ramp. Roman Reigns comes out and basically ignores Alexa Bliss. Alexa just stares at him, really, like, he stared a hole through Roman. So maybe we see Roman and the Fiend once again. Maybe at Hell in a Cell, or maybe, well, I would assume that they would do another match either on SmackDown, or if Roman wants to do Hell in a Cell, which probably he won't. I don't think Roman and the Fiend inside Hell in a Cell would work. I just don't think it'll happen, but you never know. That's all I got to say about that. So Roman's going, and he will never blink. So he heads to the ring with Paul Heyman. So that was that. So we go to the end segment. Roman's in the ring. He holds up the belt, and then Heyman gets on the mic. He says, now is the time that, and then Jey Uso comes out to interrupt, and Heyman's like, fuck! So he comes out, gets in the ring with Roman. Roman tells Jey he would give him the title if he could, but the truth is Jey wouldn't know what to do with it. Probably lose it like the next night. Says he doesn't understand the accountability and responsibility of being on top. Jey doesn't understand the weight and the pressure of being the face of the WWE. It's not his fault. He's a twin. His entire life, he's dependent on his brother Jimmy. He ain't half the man that he is. Well, Roman is. He's one half of the greatest tag team in basically current modern era. Next to a lot of other teams like the New Day and others. And the family is so proud, but their family relies on Roman. That's his role. It ain't Jey. Won't ever be him, because it will always be Roman Reigns. So Jey looks like a sad panda who lost his marbles. He's like, I can't go outside and play. Fuck, I think you're right. So Reigns drops the mic, leaves the ring with Heyman. Then he goes, then Roman goes up the ramp, and Jay's like, what if you're wrong? What if you're wrong? Why can't I be the one to provide for my family? Provide for my wife and kids. Your nephews. I've been battling this my whole life. While you've been always number one. There you go, the big dog, Mr. Main Event. You know what they say when they see me? Which one are you? And after Sunday, when they ask him who is he, they're gonna know he's the one that beat Roman Reigns for the title, and that right there will be me. Damn. So Jey got some balls on him, you know what I mean? So he's very passionate. So Roman doesn't even care. Heads to the back. Jey leaves the ring. And he says, in 2 nights at the Clash, he says 2 nights, Clash of Champions. And then he turns around. Roman flies out from the stage, hits a Superman punch, knocking Jey out. Then he starts screaming in his face that he doesn't just feed his kids or Jey's kids, but the entire family. He says Jey will take his payday and the ass whooping that's going to come with it, but he will never take the title, and he will never take Roman's place at the head of the table. So that was it to end the show. That was pretty, intriguing and shocking. We all knew that Roman was going to do. Roman might turn his back on Jey, I thought he was gonna play around with Jay. It's like, yeah, he's my cousin. Yeah, he's all good. He's my homie. He's my homie. And then right before the pay-per-view, he just attacks him. It's like, I don't give a crap about you. That's what basically he did. So I gave the ending segment 3.5 out of 5 stars. They only, besides the Alexa Bliss stuff and this, that's the only good things on SmackDown. Everything else was kind of that's that. So that's all I gotta say about that. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. With the SmackDown, I gave SmackDown 4 to 10. Yeah, I would give it 4. But it didn't make it was just kind of discombobulated and I kind of agree with Joe Cronin and JD. This SmackDown sucked. And I guess we're going to see what happens at the Clash of the Champions. I don't think it's going to be that great. I think just the ladder match alone is going to save the show. I don't even think it could save the show because I don't think anything else is going to be that good. And the kickoff shows Asuka and Zelina Vega. Why? Why can't you just have the United States title on the kickoff show? I'm going to put that as a filler match. Come on. So I have to, I'm not, I have to watch Asuka at 6 o'clock at like 6:30 or whatever. Beat Zelina Vega, and then I have to they're like, oh look, the pay-per-view starting. I'd rather have Asuka on the beginning of the show. Why don't you have the Raw Women's title on the start of the show, or have the Women's Tag Team Championships on the kickoff show, or the United States title, or even the 24/7 title that we don't give two shits about? Why is Asuka being demoted to the fucking kickoff show? And she's your star on, the face of the women's division on Raw. Why are you demoting her the fucking kickoff show? Who booked this shit? I guess they really don't give two shits about Asuka. And Asuka should fucking leave. Asuka should leave, go back to Japan, go be with Kairi. One rough shot in Stardom or whatever in Japan. Or maybe go to AEW. Team up with Rio when this fucking virus ends, we get some travel back and forth, But that's not going to happen until probably either late next year or 2022 or 23. Who knows? So, if Asuka does leave, I really don't think she's going to go to AEW. I think she'll go back to Japan and be with Kairi. And then, they'll have to thrust Io up to the main roster and they'll fuck her up. And I won't be a happy camper. That's all I got to say about that. So, yeah. So, 4 out of 10 stars for SmackDown. Wasn't all that great. And we're going to see what happens this Sunday at the Clash of Champions. So, tomorrow night, I will do my Clash of Champions predictions on TGC 179. So, subscribe to that channel and click the bell to get notified when I go live on that channel. And then Sunday night, right after the Clash goes off the air, I will be here on the Peter Gilmore YouTube Wrestling channel with my Clash of Champions 2020 review. We'll have we'll have a good talk. Probably see how far we go. I don't want to go too long, but we'll have a nice chat, and I'll talk about all the matches and even the pre-show. But I'm probably gonna abbreviate everything. But I'm not gonna go into everything. But I'll pick and choose the highlights of the fucking pay-per-view and talk about that. And if we have questions from the chat, we'll talk about that. And then we'll get back to the review, and then we'll finish it off. And that's all I gotta say about that. So like I said, probably go an hour, maybe hour and a half, 2 hours at most. But we'll see what happens. I don't want to go too long, but it is what it is. All right, everybody, that's it. Thank you all for watching. Once again, 4 out of 10 stars for SmackDown. Leave me your thoughts and opinions down below. If you have any questions, put it down below in the comment section of this video, or hit me up via Facebook or Twitter with your questions, and hopefully someday we'll do a Q&A, a live Q&A one day, maybe on a special edition of the Gilmore Chronicles. We'll do a live Q&A where you can ask me anything. But we'll see. Maybe before Halloween, I'll do a special edition of the Gilmore Chronicles. I'll do a live Q&A, and we could go as long as we want on that one. We can go 2 hours, we can go 3 hours, we can go even 4 hours. But we'll see what happens with that. I think we're going to go maybe an hour or 2 hours, and that's at most. But we'll see when we get to that. But start formulating your questions, and like I said, we can talk about them on the next review, or I could do a separate video on my phone, talk about it, about some topics, and we'll see what happens with that. And that's it. So that's it. Thank you for watching. I'm Peter Gilmore signing off. Peace out. Rock on. SmackDown sucked. The Clash of Champions is gonna suck. And that's all I gotta say about that. So thank you for watching. I'm out. Peace.